Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here. As always, we're looking at this cute little set that actually has a lot to say about it. But before that, let's get these stats out of the way. This is set number 75391, Captain Rex's Y-Wing Microfighter. Came out this year, 2024. Retails for $12.99. It has 99 pieces, including one very nice Captain Rex minifigure. And like I said, there's a lot to say about this. Despite it being very small, it is literally under 100 pieces. This set, when it came out, like day one, sold out on the Lego website to the point where it was on back order for up to 2 months. I do believe I might have mentioned that in a previous video talking about another set that came with the Captain Rex. This is a really nice figure, and it might look a little familiar because this is the exact same figure that comes in the UCS Venator. That's right, folks. This same figure, just a year prior, was exclusive to I believe it's $600 UCS set. And people were going crazy when this was announced. And it felt pretty nice because a lot of people, myself included, we're kind of fed up with people buying sets just to get the minifigure and basically scalp the figures. And so it felt really nice to see that all those people who bought the Venator set and were scalping the Rex got undercut basically by Lego themselves, because you went from literally the most expensive type of Lego set you can possibly get to barely a year later one of the least expensive Lego sets for Star Wars that you can possibly get. And it is the exact same figure. It warms my heart. I'll show you more of the figure in a little bit. We got this cute little Y-Wing. Like, it is adorable. A lot of the microfighters, kind of cute, kind of smushed, but this one, it's actually a pretty nice build, really nice lines, and I don't know, they did a pretty good job with it, honestly. Not much to say about it. If you wanted to pick this up on Bricklink, don't. Buy the set for the $13 at the store or Lego. Get your points. Like, it's not hard to find now that it's been put back in stock. But if you really want to, you can find it without the Rex figure for as low as $1. Like, literally $1. The first page is almost entirely without the Rex, and it ranges from $1 to $9 on the first page. There are 144 listings for this set. The last page is all listings that range from $22 to $39. But the one that takes the cake is the very last listing for $68. That's right, folks. Somebody was like, oh, this is going to have so much hype because it's the same Rex and everyone wants the Rex. Yeah, no. It is a $13 set, sir. Shame on you. To go into more detail on the actual Rex minifigure, there's 407 listings for this figure. And the kicker is, you cannot tell if it is the one from the UCS or if it's the one from the Microfighter, because it's the exact same minifigure. So the listings could have been put up well before this was out, and then just pages were flooded with cheap versions of the exact same thing they were selling. And if you want to see just how cheap it is, you can get it for $5. There's 17 pages, and the first 10 are all below $15. But if you look at the very last page, I think there's like six on the very last page. And the top one is $150, and it goes from there. And then it jumps all the way to $388. And the one right above that one, just slightly less, still over like $350. They're both by the same person in Germany. And they're like, oh, pulled it straight from the box, never assembled, went straight into a paper bag with everything. And it's like, you absolutely know that that person bought the Venator set and listed the Rex for almost 400. You could buy most of that Venator for the price of that one minifigure. And I do not understand why people are so delusional. But hey, supply and demand. You never know when barely a year later, the thing you just valued at almost $400 is going to be dropped to $5 because they're flooding the market because a cheap version of the minifigure is now available for literally everyone to buy. These prices are just whack. Yeah, I've been showing this a lot, but let's actually take a good look at it. It is a nice figure. You got a cloth pauldron, which actually kind of covers some printing on the arm there. The arms are mostly the same. You've got tally marks on this side, and I think a communicator on that side, but the upper arms, past the elbow, basically the same print. They're very nice printed arms. The comma is nice, or not the comma, the pauldron is nice. The commas, however, are printed on, which is okay for this set. It's perfectly fine because the cockpit is only 2 studs wide. There is no extra space to have a cloth comma. So with this set, that is perfectly understandable. I am not upset by that. The Venator, however, does not have cloth commas, which honestly is, I don't want to say offensive, but pretty ridiculous. They have the cloth pauldron, just do the cloth commas. You already did it several times. Most of the times they were plastic for the Clone Wars series. But this Rex over here from set 7501 has cloth comma. And it's not even that rare of a thing, Well, I guess the figure is, but it's not that hard of a thing to include. It's just a piece of cloth. You already made the comma. Sorry, I keep saying comma. Get these mixed up. You already have the pauldron, and it's basically the exact same pauldron, just better color saturation. Basically the exact same thing. Just add a little cloth for the Venator. The UCS Venator version should have had a cloth comma. It's inexcusable they didn't have it. And a lot of people were upset by that, which I understand. And that would actually differentiate between the two, This is actually about $120 because it is so nice. And I think it's the only one that actually had the cloth comma. Is very nice. Got a bunch of tallies on everything on his helmet. Actually, fewer on his helmet than the last one had. The helmets actually look very similar. I like this one more, but I wish it had more of those tallies on it. It's a toss-up between the chests. I like how detailed this one is, and it has all those tallies on the chest there. But I do like how clean this one looks. The little pouches there I feel are slightly too big. The backs are pretty similar. I like the back on this one more, the newer one. The legs, though. The legs on the new one have really nice printing. Minus the printed comma. I mean, they don't even do side prints or anything. So you barely even notice that they're there. Overall, fantastic figure. I do think that the blasters are a little oversized. In this one, they have just the single-handed blasters scopes. I do think that they should use the little blaster that doesn't have a scope. I recently saw on Bricklink that is a piece. It's just one of these without the scope on it. And they're a little pricey because there's not very many of them. I think it was in like maybe 1-2 sets. I don't remember which ones it was in. But I feel like those would be perfect size for this because like the Captain Rex and the ARC Troopers have those dual pistols, and they're smaller than that. So it's just a nitpick. Overall, this is a fantastic set. And if you aren't willing to spend a couple $100s on the Venator and you really want this Rex, get this. I recommend getting the set. Or you can just buy him for like $6 on Bricklink, and you're really not put out much. But yeah, the speculating people did when the Venator came out was ridiculous. And then people were just doing their damnedest to get their hands on as many of this copy as they could. And I just waited. I got this at Barnes & Noble. You know, I got it cheaper than they did because, you know, Barnes & Noble membership, 10% off. It's a fantastic thing. You should look into it, actually. Anyways, great set. Decent price. I think it is fantastic that you have the exact same figure in literally both ends of the price spectrum. You have it in the lowest price Star Wars set possible, basically. Smallest, basically. And one of the biggest and most expensive price Star Wars Lego sets you can possibly get. But it's the exact same thing. Yeah, it sucks that the Venator doesn't have a unique figure anymore. But also, they're not paywalling that figure. So I have mixed feelings about that. Like, I am both happy and a little sad because the exclusivity is gone. But also, the exclusivity is gone, which is good. Anyway, yeah. If you haven't got the set, you should. It's good. Don't overpay. Don't overpay, guys. I cannot stress that enough. Always check the prices. Don't speculate on your Lego figures. And, God's sakes, do not be a scalper. Anyways, see you guys.